Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Body Restore process for women with anxiety or depression, brought to you by Reclaim You. I'm so excited to have you guys here on the call today. We're going to chat for maybe 45, 50 minutes or so stay tuned. I'm not selling you anything today, simply just taking some time to share with you one of my shortcuts that I use to pull myself, a mom of 7 children, personally out of my own black hole. I was so sick and depressed and having anxiety attacks, and I want to show you some of these simple tools that can help you start pulling yourself out of that dark, heavy place too. Because one of the things that I learned in this process is that nobody's going to do it for you. So let's get started. So first off, one of the first things I want to ask is, who is this for? But let me just give you a little bit of clarity. I am a quantum healing practitioner, and I work with clients all day who, some of them just want to change some nagging things in their life that are bothering them. And some people actually have physical pain and sickness with symptoms in their body that they want to get to the root of emotionally and energetically. What I've found is where I see the most dramatic results is with women who are struggling with anxiety and depression. And usually what I've noticed is that anxiety and depression is kind of a byproduct of other stuff that's going on. So I see this a lot with overwhelmed women and women who just want to get their life back. We'll talk about what might be missing in your quest for getting out of this giant funk that your body might be in. Some of you have probably tried everything out there, and maybe you're just missing that one tiny little puzzle piece to the puzzle. And until you get that piece in place, nothing is going to stick. So we want to show you what you need to do in order to turn the corner and hit the reset button, so to speak. Also, why what you're currently doing might not be the fastest path to healing. Duh. Or you probably wouldn't be here, right? You're also going to get some tools to help you start this shifting process today. And then lastly, I really want you to be able to hear some case studies of women just like you who have gone through this and learning this process themselves. And then also, we're going to talk a little bit about how depression isn't just being sad, and anxiety isn't about being scared either. There's a lot of people out there that think that way, but there are different levels of anxiety and depression, and many people have a physical level of depression in their body, and they don't even realize what it is. Then there's other people who have emotional or mental struggles with mind chatter, low self-esteem, stuff like that. I've found too that panic attacks and anxiety are the same way. So I worked with a client one time whose panic attacks were so bad that the doctors thought that she was having a heart attack. We know this is real stuff. It's not just in your mind, and mood-altering drugs are not going to make this go away. So today we're going to show you some things that will, and you'll be able to affect your condition on whatever level it lives for you, whether it be in the mind, in the body, or deep inside the soul. The tools are all the same. Today, my promise to you is that you're going to come out of this session with at least one powerful puzzle piece for you to create a whole new experience than the one that you've been having inside of your physical body. And I promise you that I'm going to show you a tool today that can make you happier, healthier, and way more vibrant than you've been in the past. Also, this technology is called Essence Technology, and we use it in a program that I developed called the Body Restore process. You don't need anybody else but you to engage in these tools. You just need me to teach them to you. But once you get it, you own it. You don't need to subscribe to anything. You don't need to take anything. You don't need the expertise of anybody else but you. You can do this process in the privacy of your own home, and once you learn it, you own it. So this might be a new paradigm shift for some of you. And some of you might be doing some of these things already, but stick with me here because I'm going to show you how there's one missing piece where many of the other modalities and energy healing methods might fall short. Some of you are trying everything and you're so close. You just might need this one thing that would be the tipping point to push you over the edge to results. And this one tool alone is going to give you access to a deeper part of yourself, a wellspring of happiness and healing, and I can't wait to show it to you. So let me ask you this one question. Does this sound like you? Aren't we all just looking for freedom, really? Freedom from physical, emotional pain, freedom from the pressure and uncertainty, freedom from feeling boxed in all the time and not knowing how to find that authentic version of you anymore? Aren't you aching to be able to call the shots in your own life again? To be able to run and not be tired and keep up with your kids and the people in your life that you love? These people want you to participate in their life, and I'm sure you do too. You want to pick back up with the things that you used to love to do again, right? You might even be looking to feel powerful instead of picked on. And how many of you out there have had that overwhelming feeling that there is just something missing in your life that you don't know, you just don't know what it is? It's almost like you've forgotten who you are and you can't remember how to reconnect with that real, authentic version of yourself anymore because you felt so crappy for so long. I love it. I love it. I don't love that you feel that way, but I do love that you're here today because this information is going to change your life. I've talked to a lot of women suffering out there who feel like their only option at this point is just to give up. They feel like they're on the cusp of throwing in the towel, right? Many of you are overwhelmed because you have that feeling like you've gone on strike from your own life. We sort of check out. We get less and less interested and engaged with people and hobbies and work and so on. And you might be having these big experiences show up in your life and you feel nothing, right? Totally checked out. I felt that way. I didn't even have the energy to laugh at the funny or cry over the sad, just totally blank. And did you know that there's now science starting to show that the emotional root of depression is despair? These are some of the same kind of root energies that live in people who have cancer. And many times these illnesses surface without any awareness on your part that your emotions are contributing to your body's cry for help. And then a lot of you out there are just kind of, you're in that nagging, chaotic feeling that comes from, you know what, I've tried it all, everything on the market, in all the books, and yet still nothing is working. And oh my gosh, how I resonate with that. It's so real to me. I've been on this path for 20 years, and so I'm so excited to share this with you. So what's going on with you? Do you catch yourself spinning around in the same circles of behavior that you can't control? Well, I'm going to teach you how to jump into a different circle. And do you feel like you've tried everything out there on the market, known to mankind, and the symptoms just keep coming back? Or maybe you don't have the money to buy into ongoing treatments or supplements to take until the end of time. Also, you may be following professional people in the niche of healing and meditating for the masses, but they never really give you an applicable, specific approach to how this applies to you. Also, maybe you've just gotten bogged down, stuck. You feel out of control, lost. You want to give up because it's just no use. Some of you feel like the answers are out there, you just haven't found the right one yet. Personally, I think that the real problem here is one link in the chain that still so many people have overlooked. I've been doing this for years now, and I've worked with women who have tried using diet and exercise and meditation, energy healing, and even medications to help them out, but they just could not get relief until we tapped into this one very powerful element of healing. And that is what I call your essence. Most people don't even know that it's there, but in everyone, underneath the bones and the flesh and the tissue and energy, is spirit matter and your essence. And that part of you is infinite. It's always existed and it always will exist, even after you leave your body. When you use these tools to access that divinely authentic part of who you are, deeply embedded inside of you, that is where your power lives. That is where great changes live, and that is where permanent healing lives. So that's where we go. I want to give you a little bit of background. My name is Janet Thurgood. I'm a quantum healing energy practitioner, and I specialize in allergy release, age clearing, trauma release, symptom release, and emotional clearing, among some other modalities. I have a really broad foundation in nutrition and herbs and meditation, energy medicine. I've used the influence of some of the different modalities like EFT and NLP, matrix energetics, quantum touch, the emotion code, and Reiki. And while I don't discount all of these other technologies, I have found the greatest success in using a technique that I developed for my own personal use and my clients, and it's called Essence Technology. So I combined with consciousness technologies, this essence technology, and it has become a powerful force in the healing of so many conditions. I work with people from all backgrounds, and I've helped people shift life-threatening illnesses from headaches to anxiety and depression to allergies to chronic pain to emotional traumas. And it's been my own deeply personal experiences that have led me on this journey to help others heal their own issues as well. This is a picture of my family. In the summer of 2008, I came close to death a couple of times, actually. That experience changed my perspective on healing forever. And it was about that same time that our oldest daughter, Jessica, was diagnosed with a rare blood cancer. And I went into this panic mode. I started trying to do everything that I knew with herbs and nutrition and energy work and all the healing modalities that I had learned over the years. I tried to help her and me. And frankly, this endless process of trying to find these things was killing me, literally. So I had to find the missing piece to this. Both her life and mine hung in the balance. And at that time, I was so overloaded internally and externally that I didn't know how to help my own self. Externally, I was working against fibromyalgia and gluten intolerances and allergies, migraine headaches, chronic fatigue, you name it. I mean, just everything. And then I had this internal battle that was going on, all these stresses of my daughter's ill, she might not make it, all of that stuff. And then there were other big life events happening in the midst of all of that too. I just felt like I can't do this anymore. And every morning upon wakening, I felt like I was slumping deeper and deeper into this overpowering deficit of my own vitality. It felt like some unseen power was sucking the life force right out of me, and that one morning I just wasn't going to wake up at all. I was swirling around in this deep, dark, black hole, this abyss, and then the only way to get out of that was if somebody could potentially reach down and pull me up and out, because I was so far gone, I didn't think I had the power to get out of it myself. I would get results with diet and exercise for a while, but nothing would last. And over time, I noticed that the same thing would happen, when I developed a clientele where I would help other people with some of the modalities I was learning. I could use one technique on one person and it would be great for that person, but then the next person would come in and they wouldn't have any experience with it at all. And so I couldn't figure out why were the results with people so inconsistent, and why some cases were just not having the same experience. So I went on this hunt. There had to be a better way to do this. There had to be a more universal tool that could trigger healing in everyone and help everyone, not just some. And then this woman came to see me, and she was severely sick. She was as sick as I had once been, if not more. She'd been bedridden for 2 years. She was skin and bones, allergic to every food known on the planet. She had pain all over in her body. So much pain. She walked like she was 90, even though I think she was only 30 something. But I would coach her, and my intent with her was to teach her the laws of spontaneous healing. I wanted to teach her things about nutrition and diet and exercise and different things. I want to do some emotional clearing. And when I would bring those things up in our sessions, she'd say, I'm doing that. I'm already doing that. And what I noticed was that she was doing all of those things. I knew from my training that the body absolutely can go into spontaneous healing mode if it's given the right elements that will induce that spontaneous healing. And sometimes we don't know what those elements are until we go inside and ask the body. So I recognized that my client was doing all these things, right? Nothing was helping her. She meditated. She saw energy healers. She went to hypnotherapy. She had chiropractors and acupuncturists and Chinese herbal medicine practitioners, and still suffering. And then one day I took her through this process that I now call Essence Technology. And I began to see a change in her. And every time she came to visit me, she was standing taller. She looked more peppy. She had more vitality in her step. Her body began to fill out with this healthy, beautiful glow. Like her eyes shifted back down into her head so that she kind of glowed instead of had that ghostly countenance like she was dying. And that was when I discovered that this could potentially be the one missing piece to the puzzle. When everything else wasn't enough, this one was. And so I started using it on everybody. Over time, this woman did make a 360-degree turnaround, just like I did. And she's now coaching and helping people overcome their health challenges and struggles. There are no words to describe to you what that feels like to come up and out of that internal black hole, that hell. Like, all I can say is that this will change your life. It's life-changing when you finally experience the light at the end of the tunnel. I personally am free from pain. I don't have fatigue anymore. I don't worry about gluten. I don't have allergies. I'm happier. I'm healthier than I think I've ever been in my life, frankly. I think all this health stuff started in my teens, and so I don't know that I ever really felt vital. I tell people that I'm aging backwards because I spent my 90s and my 30s, and now I'm going to go back in time and experience the vibrancy and the energy that I missed out on back then. And once you learn this, you can't unlearn it. It's so transformational and powerful. So today, this is the piece that my clients get from me, and I too am going to share this one piece with you. It is my deepest desire to spread this amazing power of healing to everybody I can possibly reach, especially women like you who might potentially be struggling with anxiety and depression. I am so passionate about this Essence technology and teaching you how you too can reset and clear your own trapped negative emotional gunk that's making you sick. One of the things to consider is that you are not your depression. You are not your body. And you are not your experiences. You are so much more than that. And so I want to teach you how to tap in and turn on to that part of you and set yourself free. I've worked with coaching my clients. As I've done that, I've noticed a more lasting result with people, and that you really can get way more laser-targeted results for you without having to try all these generic things out there and see which one's going to stick. When you work with me in my live group coaching sessions, you're going to experience self-healing customized to what your body wants to do. You're going to see changes in yourself that you probably didn't even know were possible. It really is like hitting the reset button. I've noticed over time, clients can start fresh and not feel so bogged down all the time by all these different things to try. I hear over and over from so many people, I feel like I've finally got my life back. You know, they'll tell me those things that used to bother me and push my buttons really don't even bother me anymore. I react different. I look at life different. So we also teach you how to go to the specific root of your own problems, and we ask the body questions to read the answers and then move forward without guesswork. So from there, then we can start to teach you the laws of spontaneous healing as they apply to you and what your own body wants. This gives people a huge pool of resources so that they can then start to affect an even greater change. So now I'm going to ask you here, in the midst of all the noise and confusion and all the supplements and strategies and stuff that you can try, techniques, haven't you had enough? Don't you want to just cut through the confusion and go to the intelligence of your own body so that you can get specific about what would need to happen in order for you to feel good again? The answers are all inside of you, and the quicker that we can get to them, the faster you can find your way out of this mess. I really want to drive this home for you. If you want something done well, you go to the expert, right? Now, I'm not claiming to be that because I'm not the expert for your body, but there are plenty of those people in the world, and they're all going to tell you different kinds of things that you can try. With Essence technology, all we have to do is go to the real expert of your illness, and that is you. That's your body. So you're going to learn that it can tell you everything that you need to know. The body follows spirit and is intensely accurate. It lives in pure truth. So we're going to teach you how to connect with that part, trust and communicate with your body, and then also learn how to listen to it. It is one of your greatest resources ever. And I'll tell you something else. You are going to learn that the more you become familiar with this process, you're going to realize that your intellect and your ego is not your friend. That your ego will make up stories about you that isn't even true. So have you ever heard in your mind, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not capable enough? That is not you. And that is not true. As you connect with the spirit energy in the essence of who you are, you access infinite potential, infinite wisdom, infinite intelligence, really, and you really can go there. In that space, there really isn't anything that you can't have or be or do. When you get this, you are going to really soar. You're almost going to feel like you can fly because you'll come to realize that you have all the answers you need. You are all the answers that you need. You're the power inside of you that can affect huge change and transformation. You don't need that hand to reach down into the black hole to pull you out. That infinite essence that lies in you is the hand. That is where we go to affect change. This is so powerful. If you owned your own state of being, what would change for you? I'll tell you what changes for a lot of the clients that I work with is that their ability to have control over their choices and how they choose to experience life changes. They begin forgiving themselves and they stop beating themselves up. They feel happy. They feel joyous, tenacious. They actually love life again instead of enduring it. Their dreams, their hopes, their goals begin to light up again, and they start becoming more propelled in that direction. Your gifts and your talents and your purpose starts to show up, and you start living life to the fullest. So I really want to share with you a few success stories now. Then we're going to jump into how this centered state can help you to access your own essence. This is Amy, and I interviewed her in her own home. So listen to some of the excerpts from my interview with her. I want to introduce you to Amy. She's been going through this process too. So I'm going to ask you, Amy, what was going on with you before you started using this technology?
Well, I had been chronically sick and in pain for about 14 years. I had been to every doctor known to man, acupuncture, acupressure, energy healers, surgeries, and in fact had a neurostimulator put into my head. I've had chronic migraines, and the neurostimulator was supposed to help with the pain of the migraines and did help a little bit, but not enough. And then also I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia because I had pain throughout my whole body, and the doctors, after every test possible, still couldn't figure out what was wrong with me and how to help me. They just basically gave me medication and pills, which made me feel worse. And so I was on Facebook one day. I had been doing a lot of pondering and actually praying and asking for further help. I knew there was something out there that could help me. I was very hopeful about that. I just knew I needed to find it. And I was on Facebook one day, and there was a post from you, and I remember reading the words. It said, "Change your energy, change your life." I looked at that. I had no idea what it meant, and I think I liked it and clicked off of it, and all of a sudden I just had this feeling, no, go back. You need to look into this. And so I did, and I saw a phone number, and I called and left a message, and I just knew you were going to call, and I just started having this feeling deep within me, this is what I have to do. This is my answer. And you called, I think, that afternoon, and we got together, and that was the beginning of this amazing process. It's changed so many things, so much so that all of my family notices and friends. My pain is better. Physically, I feel so much better. My migraines have decreased, and when they do come, I generally know how to clear them. My fibromyalgia is completely gone most of the time, and again, when it does flare up, I usually know how to clear and take care of it. My outlook on life has changed dramatically. I know that I have power within me to heal, and that's been huge, life-changing. I'm more optimistic and just excited about life again. For the first time in a long time.
And you even said to me that people are noticing it in you, right? They're
Yes.
making comments about you.
Yes.
That you're changing, you're glowing.
Yeah, they notice before I even say anything a lot of the times. What are you doing? Something's different about you? And then, of course, I get very excited to share. I just want everyone to know about this because I had tried everything that you could think of and traveled across the country to get answers, and this is what has helped. And so I want to share it with everyone.
Yeah, I think it's so interesting that you traveled all over the place looking for all these answers outside of you, and really the ultimate answer was inside of you.
Yes, I pondered on that a lot.
You're like, hey, it's been here all the time.
Yeah, I just didn't know, and that's what's so wonderful is that's unlocked that within me, and what an amazing thing to discover.
Yeah. Okay, so my last question is, if you could talk to, let's say, a girlfriend who you knew was secretly suffering with physical pain or internal pain, suffering inside, with either depression, anxiety, or just health problems, or maybe they are in an abusive situation, what would you say to them?
I would just be able to give them hope. Because of what I know now, I could give them hope that there is help out there, and that they are strong and powerful, and that they can be healed. And that's not something I could have done before because I didn't know how, and I didn't know where the answers lied. And so basically just sharing my story with them and my success, and pointing them in your direction, and giving them hope. And that's what everyone needs.
Yeah, and then my job is to point them in their own direction so they can access what's inside. The power really for all of this, for healing, for changing, for shifting, for growing into your own strength is inside of you.
Yes.
So now here's that aha moment. Things we never have to do again. Spend hours and dollars figuring out what your body wants and needs. Waste time on diets that don't serve you and supplements that you don't really need. Medicate yourself to try to escape this. Follow complicated steps that enslave you to a technique. Counseling and talk therapy, going over the same problem over and over, and then living your life constantly trying to cover up the pain. At some point, you might find it useful to eat what your body's asking for and exercise in moderation and get rest. But the search is over wading through the arduous process of trying to find out what you're looking for. The answer's already inside. So here's the big question for you guys then. Remember why you came to this webinar in the first place? Are you living the life you've always dreamed of living? Are you free to move forward in absolute bliss and confidence and stability? Are you the master of your own life and how you feel today? Are you happy and joyous and tenacious and full of love most of the time? And do you feel so good that you don't know what to do with yourself? Okay, guys, let's just jump right in here then and take this body restore process for a test drive, shall we? What I want you to do is I want you to notice your body. Notice how you feel. Is there any heaviness or pain? Are you tight? Are you agitated? Are you feeling any emotion? Just take a mental note. And now I want you to start by taking a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. So let's do that a few times together. Nice, big, rich breaths. Take a longer time to exhale out through the mouth like you're blowing out your birthday candles. Nice and long on the exhale. I want you to do that 3 or 4 times, and then followed by this next breath. You're going to breathe in through the nose and exhale on an like a big sigh of relief. And as you breathe out, just release all of the tension that you notice. Ready? Go. You may want to pause the video at this point. Do that 3 or 4 times the first way, breathing in and out. 3 or 4 times the second way, breathing in and out on the ah. And just start relaxing, releasing. What we're doing is we're priming the pump, getting you into a state of relaxation so that we can go inside. All right, now keep that breath going. And now I want you to think of a long, straight stick. If I were to insert that stick through the top of your head, down the body, it would go behind the eyes, through the throat, the heart, the upper stomach, the lower stomach, to the base of the spine. And when it gets to the end of the spine, the stick splits in two and travels down both legs into that perfect center, all the way through the feet into the earth. That line is your center. So now as you keep breathing, I want you to think about that center line inside of your body. Bringing your awareness deep inside. Drop down into the body and go down that line as you breathe in through the nose. Soften as you breathe out, and just drop, bringing your awareness onto that center midline of the body, deep, deep down into the body. Keep breathing and softening and drop deeper and deeper and deeper. Good. Keep going. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Stay with me here. Now, you'll notice, I want you to just notice how you feel. In comparison to how you felt before starting this, how does it feel now inside of your body? Is it the same? Is it different? Has anything changed? Think of a word to describe it. Is it peaceful? Is it calm? Still? This is doing two things. Keep breathing and keep dropping your awareness deeper into the body. It's helping to put you into that alpha state of relaxation. And it's also shifting your consciousness from outside of your body to inside of your body. So you'll notice that when you do that, it feels different. If you don't feel a shift in how it feels, just keep breathing and softening and dropping down deeper and deeper inside of your body. And if you don't feel a change, it could just mean that there's more work to be done to get you there. But stay with us anyways. Keep breathing and softening and just moving into that soft, relaxed state. Next, in that state where you're soft and peaceful and relaxed, I want you to think about something that bothers you or that causes you to feel uncomfortable in the body. So you're going to think about something that's really bothering you. It could be a relationship, a situation maybe that occurred, something that really pushes your buttons, that really makes you either agitated, upset, angry, sad, something that's pretty intense so that you can measure the difference. So think about that. Keep your awareness low in the body and allow the body to stay soft. And now, where do you feel the discomfort of this issue inside of you? For example, some people might feel anger. The tightness sometimes shows up in the midline of the body, like around where the liver is or the gut. Notice where you feel any tightness or tension or just maybe a heavy, dark feeling. You might feel it in the throat, like a lump in the throat, or pressure in the gut, or even pain. Other people feel actual pain and pressure. And I want you to rate it once you've identified where what you're feeling about this issue lives in the body. On a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being the worst, how badly does that feel inside of you? Remember that number. Just give yourself a number. Is this a 7? Is it a 5? Where do you feel it? And how bad is it? Whatever it is to you that you feel when you think about this situation that bothers you, just stay deep inside your body and keep breathing like I taught you, and soften your body to it. Just relax and soften. Now you'll notice where you feel this in the body. Just go to the center of that feeling and allow it to soften and change and release as you breathe in and out. Just release any tension at all that you feel in there. If there is any tension in the face or the eyes or the shoulders, just let that go one at a time. You need to pause this video. If you need to do that, just breathe and soften right into the center of that heavy feeling, inviting a change. And when you think of letting go, imagine holding a helium balloon in your hands and just let it go. Watch it float away as you breathe. Just floating away as you breathe out and soften. Good. Now let's check back in with the body to see what you feel. And when you think of your original situation that bothers you, has the heaviness changed? Has it moved? Just notice it. Did it shrink? Notice any changes at all. Recheck to see where it is now. Is it somewhere else in the body? Is it at a different level? Maybe it went from a 10 to a 5, or maybe a 2. Maybe there's just a little bit left. You don't feel it as much. If there's more there, think about the situation again and note in your mind, what do you feel? What is the dominant emotion behind this heaviness towards your circumstance? Once you know what that is, you may have to pause and kind of think about it. Then put your thought on the center line in the body again. Remember that line that dissected you in the center. Put your thought on that center line. Just think about that line anywhere inside of your body. How about let's go to the heart. So drop down into the body again, deep into the heart, right into the center core of the heart, and say out loud, I feel, if it's sadness you feel, say that. If it's anger, whatever it is, I'm going to use sad. I feel sad. And now just feel the sadness in your body. Feel it. If you have to pause, go ahead. And the next thing you're going to do is you're going to say, it's okay to feel sad. It's okay. It's okay that I feel like this. It's okay. Give your body permission to have that feeling. And keep saying it until it shifts a little bit, till it changes and you notice that it's different. As you breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Keep dropping down into that center of the heart and just keep breathing and softening and releasing like you're letting go of those balloons, and say out loud, it's okay to let this go now. It's okay to let this go now. It's not serving me. And just breathe and soften and drop. And now say, it's okay to forgive myself. As you breathe in and out, keep that breath moving. Do not stop the breath and keep your awareness inside of the body. If you have to pause the video, go ahead and do so. And can you give yourself some forgiveness? You didn't know, in the situation when those feelings came up, you did the best you could. So just forgive yourself and breathe and drop and soften your body. And just feel that rippling away from you, out from the body, vibrating away from you. Okay? And can you forgive yourself some more? And even more than that. And even more than that. And just say it out loud. Yes. Yes. And now can you forgive the other people that were involved in this situation that maybe made you sad or angry or upset? Can you forgive them? Now, forgiveness doesn't mean that you're telling them it's okay. Forgiveness is your opportunity to let the pain that you bought into go. So you're really just doing yourself a favor. You're just letting the pain of it go. And can you give yourself that kind of forgiveness? Can you forgive them and just let it go? Just letting it go. It's okay. Depending on your situation, you might need to pause the video again so that you can breathe, drop, go down into the body, soften, forgive, and let it go. And when you choose to hold on to anything, it's the same as taking rat poison and expecting them to die. It's not serving you. It's not helping you at all. It's holding you back. So it's okay to forgive. Just keep breathing and softening until that is gone, dropping deep, deep, deep into the body. You may want to pause this here and keep doing that and then come back. Now keep the breath going in and out. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, think about that center line. Breathing out on the ah. Just on that ah sound, thinking about the center. And as you move into the center of the heart, with your awareness, I want you to look for the shift in the feeling behind this statement. I'm going to ask you some questions, and I want you to give me a loud yes, even though I can't hear you. So when you feel bad inside of yourself at the root level, really what's happening is you're just disapproving of yourself. So can you let go of disapproving of yourself? Give me a yes. And can you let go some more? And more? And even more than that? Give me a yes. And more than that, keep breathing, softening, dropping into your body deeper and deeper. And can you let go of disapproving of yourself some more? And now can you go into the center of the heart? And can you just give yourself some approval? And can you give yourself some more? And more than that. Just keep giving yourself more and more approval. Who I am is good enough. Who I am is capable enough. Smart enough. Beautiful enough. Now finally we're going to have you slide down the center line, going just below the heart, down through the gut, into an imaginary room. And if we could peel away all the bones and the flesh and the tissue of the body away right now and just take a peek at who's inside of this body that you possess, who would you see? Go ahead and open the door to that room. Just go on inside. Stand there and look at the essence of you in the mirror. Notice the room is so full of light that it's almost blinding. It's white, beautiful, golden light. And the light is coming from the essence of you. And as you stand there and you look into that mirror and you look face to face with the essence of who you are, just notice. Notice what your hair looks like, your eyes. Notice what it feels like to be in your presence. And go ahead and pause this for just a minute and then come back. I want you to just really get into that space where you're noticing who you are. And when you come back from that place inside of you, go ahead and ask yourself a question. So any question you want, just ask your highest self, your essence. Ask yourself a question. What is it that you want to know? And what answer do you get? You could maybe ask about your healing process, maybe ask what is the next step in order for me to feel really, really good again, in order for me to connect with you, my highest self. And now as you're in this essence space and you're fully aware of your essence of you, I want you to think about your source. For some of you that might be God, it might be the universe, it could be anything. Whatever you think your source is, I'm not going to define that for you. So whatever your source is, and just think about your essence and your source coming into that room together and morphing together until they become one single beam of light, filling up that room inside of you. And it fills up the room so much that the room disappears and you just shine this glorious white golden light right through the body in every direction, way out beyond the body, out into infinity. That light of you just shines and shines like the sun does through the universe. And keep breathing and softening. Good. And go deeper and go deeper, go deeper. Now, how do you feel? How has that original situation changed? Just notice it. I really wish we could interact right now because I love taking groups through this process. We end up getting to go deeper and deeper and we get more specific in this, but for right now, just hang with me. Okay, most of this should be gone for you by now. I want you to just move into that essence again, go back into that room full of light, noticing yourself, your higher self, and just feel her love. Feel that you are that. Feel that you are everything you're looking for. And inside that place of peace and tranquility and love, we begin to strip away one by one the layers of gunk that's covering up the authentic you. We start to peel back the layers together, you and me, together, one at a time, until we start to feel this peace in you more and more. And soon you'll notice that that peace turns into joy, and joy turns into bliss, and bliss turns into euphoria. It feels amazing. It feels really good, and it's hard to describe that feeling for yourself. You have to experience it. This is one of the most powerful processes you can have in your body, and it's so within your reach right now. Stored inside of you is energetic code. It's a perfect blueprint for your perfect self. So your highest self is very intelligent and loving, and as we move through our lives, we experience traumatic experiences, and we don't know what to do with all that. So we have these power surges of pain that go through us, and in that moment, we don't know what to do with it. So our culture teaches us that we should shove it back in our body, to ignore it, right? Don't be sad, don't be angry, stop crying. We hear that all the time. And the problem is the more you shove this and the more you shove it into the body and cover it up, that original blueprint gets sicker and covered. And during this reset, restore process, you're going to learn that the art of stripping all of that gunk away and clearing up the glass. It's almost like cleaning your windows so you can see, so that the true you can start to reflect out to the world who you really are. And then speaking from my own personal experience and my own transformation, this is amazing. It feels so incredible. You can always tell when you're in alignment with your highest self because it feels really, really good. And you can also tell when you're not in alignment with your highest self, your essence, because it doesn't feel good. So that's your gauge so that you can see where you're at. It's also your reminder to go back inside and do this again. So taking this journey with me is life-changing. It will change your life. I take my students together and we access your essence. And in there, we can ask your higher self any question we want to. We can find direction. We can get answers. We can figure out what your body's calling out for and what your body wants to do next. We don't have to, it's like we don't have to throw spaghetti up on the wall and figure out which one is going to stick. For me, now there are days when I wake up in the morning, I'm so happy, I don't know what to do with myself, right? Sometimes I have to just go on a run, jump on the trampoline. The energy and level inside of me gets so intense that I'm so happy that I don't know how to contain it. So that might happen to you as well. I don't know. This gets really fun to play with as we teach you to just be in the flow of it. There's no need to contain it. It just flows and fills you up and flows some more. And the more that spills out of you, the more flows into you. There isn't one person on the earth who should have to sit and suffer and be a victim to their own body. Once you learn this, you own power, your power, and it'll change your life. This is spontaneous healing. In recent years, however, scientists have observed an increase in a strange phenomenon that they call spontaneous healing, or the placebo effect. In 1993, the Institute of Noetic Sciences published Spontaneous Remission, an annotated bibliography by Carl Hirschberg and Brendan O'Regan. And in this book, they define spontaneous remission as the disappearance, complete or incomplete, of a disease or cancer without medical treatment, or treatment that is considered inadequate to produce the resulting disappearance of disease, symptoms, or tumor. They cataloged all the medical literature they could find in the world on spontaneous healing. Medical experts for years thought that this phenomenon was rare. However, the gigantic database that came about as a result of their compiling shows that it may be more common than we think. They assembled the largest database of medically reported cases of spontaneous healing of all kinds, from infectious diseases to tumors, neoplasms of the brain, nervous system, lymphatic system, and so on, all the way on down to gunshot wounds. So this database contains more than 3,500 references from more than 800 journals in 20 different languages, showcasing via medical evidence that the body really can and does engage in spontaneous healing. I'll leave the link for that below so you can look at it. Next, in a recent 60-minute interview in 2012, reporters did an expose on pharmaceutical companies, and they interviewed Dr. Irving Kirsch, a medical doctor from Harvard. He said, "Antidepressants don't work, and our drugs for so many health conditions don't work." The reporter asked, "Well, what do we do?" And his reply was, "We need to start prescribing placebos because they work as well or better than the drugs that are so expensive and have all the side effects." The reason why these placebos work more often than the drug, it's the belief that heals them, not the drug. So when you change the belief, you can actually change the illness. So changing the code or the blueprint of the energy that is contributing to it can change the illness. Let's talk a little bit about the old way of doing things. In the traditional Western medicine, talk therapy and drugs was the way to go. And this was years ago they used this approach. And then along came alternative medicine, and we started using things like meditation and hypnotherapy, and nutritional therapies, and herbs. And a lot of people got better results. But even still, with that, there's still a large majority of people out there who are not getting long-term help from any of these modalities. And so we needed something different. Essence Technology is a tool that you can use right now to shift how you feel in your body now, in seconds. You don't have to wait for 10 years of talk therapy. You don't have to go and see someone. The more that you use these tools and the better at them you get, you'll be able to move pain and symptoms right out of your own body. You aren't limited as to what you can do with this. We start by going inside. We drop, we breathe, soften, and then you invite a change and you notice a difference. Then we go deep down into the body and access the essence. We connect with our source. We go into self-approval. You notice again how you feel, how that makes you feel. Then we clear and release, and begin to ask more questions. And at this point, we have the power to ask the internal body or your highest self, your essence. You can ask that part of you different questions as to where healing is going to live for you. I see this as the key to everything that you're looking for. Literally, everything that you're looking for is in that space known as your essence. So if you want something, anything, think about it. You really aren't looking for the thing to satisfy you. You're looking for a feeling that you think that thing will give you. So instead of looking for the thing, go inside, drop down into the body, breathe and soften. Feel that approval, that love, that respect for yourself, all those feelings. There you go. And just drop down into your body. Do it. That is the feeling that you're looking for. Done. And you didn't even need to buy a new car to have it. You just drop inside of the body and feel what you're looking for and notice that it lives inside of you. This key is the critical piece to spontaneous healing. Without it, you might as well throw spaghetti up against the wall and wonder which one is going to stick. You can try herbs and oils and tinctures and go to chiropractors and other energy healers and doctors until your face turns green. But without this one key piece to the puzzle, really all you're doing is playing a guessing game. So how we work together on this. I teach you to get into that essence that we did today. I'm going to take you deeper, go farther. We go deep down inside of you, that part of you that feels really good. And from there, we can bring up old negative emotional or environmental energetic gunk that's covering up your highest vibration. And it's preventing you really from feeling good all the time. Then one by one, we go to work identifying resistance, distortion, trapped negative emotions, unhealthy beliefs, and whatever else is causing vibrational interference in your essence. And we teach you tools and give you assignments that will help you stay on task with clearing and releasing. And then we just go to town and start watching for changes to show up. When you do this, the more you do it, you're going to begin to notice changes in your being. You're going to see changes in the way you see life, changes in old unhealthy belief patterns and programming. You'll notice yourself responding to stressful situations differently than you did before, coming from a more powerful place even. You're going to learn to listen to intuitive messages from deep within you and find the perfect answers to questions that are specific to you, to your own highest good. Nobody else can provide that for you. So this is really cool. You become your own personal health expert for your own highest good. It's not me. I just teach you how to get there using a very personal, applicable approach. Remember, we take you deep down inside of the body to affect change on a molecular level. There's 100 different things that we can do to help you release what's there. And we're going to teach you those things. Then we go back in and we check the body to see if there's a change. And usually there is. So we go through another process to clear and release until it's completely gone. Guess what's left behind after you release all the gunk? You. Authentic you. Free you. Empowered you. The real you with no limitations, no more resistance, no more self-disapproval, no more self-judging and self-doubt, just clarity, just freedom. That's what it feels like. It's light, it's fluffy, it's happy, it's blissful, peaceful, amazing, wonderful. It really does feel wonderful to be you, just you. And from there, there's really no need to try to be anything else. And that, my friends, is what I want for you more than anything else, because I have experienced what it feels like, and it's amazing. There are no words to describe to you what this process can do for you and what it feels like. For me, there's days when I get up in the morning and I have so much energy, I don't know what to do with myself. I feel so good. I have pep in my step, a bit of a bounce, and I feel so happy. I don't quite know what to do with it all. I'm still learning what to do with it. But it has propelled me forward towards my purpose, towards my own personal power, and towards what I think God put me on the earth to do, greater and faster than anything else I've ever done in my life. This is such a powerful thing, and I am so passionate about sharing this with you. So here's what you need to win at this. Well, first of all, you need to know that who you are inside of you is good enough, smart enough, capable enough to be loved and to give love. You are enough to live your purpose, the purpose that God put you on this planet to live, to make an impact in the world. And you need to know that you're always responsible for how you feel. And once you know that, you can make the steps and take the steps to choose to feel better. To some of you, this will be your hand up and out of your own black hole. I promise you. And here's what you need to leave in the past. Talk therapy, medication, diets, 10-step processes these are not your fastest way to get to where you're trying to go. You're trying to get to a life of vitality, energy, purpose, and bliss. And there's a better way to do this, a faster way to do this. It's in you. Your body is the expert. Ask it. Okay, so I know sometimes committing to something new and sticking your neck out there can be a little bit scary. I know that. I've been there. But I want you to think about it for a minute. What is the alternative for you right now? What other opportunity is offering up this kind of metamorphosis for your soul? If you have doubts, that's okay. It's okay to feel that way. I recommend that you take that feeling and move it down deep inside of the body. Go back into that place of highest self, your essence, and sit with yourself for a little while and ask the questions you need to square this away in your own heart, not your mind. And then from that place, decide inside of the heart whether or not this opportunity is speaking to your soul. You'll know if it's right for you or not. You'll know because it will feel good. It will feel light. It will call to you and you'll feel drawn toward it. And it will feel right. If you feel those things, chances are you're about to experience a huge shift for good in your life. You don't have to be stuck doing things the way they've always been done and then spinning your wheels getting nowhere. You don't have to feel miserable anymore. You don't have to be scared to live your life. What would it be like if things really were different? What would you be like? So in the beginning of this session, I promised you two things. Number one, that I would deliver to you a tool that would help you make some powerful changes in your own body and your emotional state. I think I did that. I encourage you to play with this tool, use it often, practice it. And then number two, I told you that you were going to be invited to participate in dramatic change in you and that you wouldn't need anyone else but you to access this potential inside of you. And I think I've delivered on that promise too. I want to invite you to take this tool into your life and use it. Use it a lot. Enjoy it. Also, I highly encourage you to take this process you just started further. Make a dramatic change in your well-being. Find out who you really are. Free yourself from the hell that you've been living in, and let me personally help you do that. I've been in that place before and I've walked hundreds of people through this process, and I can certainly do the same with you. And my promise to you is that we will generate momentum. We're going to help you clear things that you never dreamed were possible to clear up and out of your body and out of your way for good. So I'm curious as to whether or not you want to take this next step, to take this evolution any further. I've set aside a little bit of time in my next week to speak with you personally about this more and how you can apply this technology to more than just anxiety and depression. And when you know that the energy leads and the body follows, and that you have the power to harness and control where energy flows in you, that changes everything for you. Everything. You realize that you really aren't the victim you thought you were. You are a powerful creator. Why don't you get in touch with me, even if you just want to get a little bit of help here on taking this to the next level. I'm on a mission personally to help as many women as I have within my power to empower your life and to get you up and out of that bed so that you can live your life. The cost for this call is free. So now the ball is in your court. You have a choice here to make. You need to decide, what is it worth to you to have a whole new experience with your body? Is it worth a few minutes on the phone to see where we can take this further in this technology? Or are you going to choose to go back to doing what you've always done, what you think is the safe thing to do? So in the beginning of this webinar, I told you that I'm a quantum healing practitioner and I work with people all over the country as well as in other countries. And we do this live and over the phone. I've worked with people with allergies, depression, anxiety, chronic pain, and migraines, all the way down to cancer and trapped negative emotions. I'm currently opening up an opportunity for only 20 ready and willing women who are done with being sick and trying to figure this out the old way and ready for a total transformation. I'm limiting my groups this year because I want these sessions to be deeply personal, and I want to really get to know you, and I want to help you discover your greatest secrets about yourself. So if you feel something when I say that, you may want to consider what I have to offer you here in the next few minutes. You might be 100% committed and ready to take some serious action in the direction of your own personal empowerment. There will be some definite energy on your part expended here if you choose to let me help coach you. But just realize that this isn't for people who want to sit back and expect the work to be done for them. As your mentor and health coach, and as your personal guide through this process of stripping away all your energetic gunk, you're going to need to put in the work to create change. You're going to need to make a sacrifice in order for this to happen. But I promise you it will be way worth it when you see who you get to be as you come out the other side. When you reach out to us on the call, we're going to help you get complete clarity as to what you can expect when you begin to work with me. I'll help you to see a clear picture of how I take you by the hand and walk you through this process to create momentum in your life and what that will look like for you. If I think that you're a good candidate for personal healing coaching, I'm going to take you by the hand and walk you through this process that will change your life. If we work together, I'll be holding you to the same standard that I do all of my clients. You will be coached with specifics. You're going to be able to ask questions. You're going to be able to talk to me and talk to others. You'll be given specific assignments for how to clear and process this stuff at home. And then you'll report to me as to how you're progressing, and we'll coach you through that. This live coaching is designed to get you from point A, where you are now, desperate, to point B, where you want to be, living your dreams and having the vitality and the energy to do so in under 8 weeks. Go ahead and click the button now to set up a time to talk to me over the phone. So here's just a little side note. I want you to notice what you're feeling right now after watching this webinar. If you are feeling energy pulsing through your body right now, and you are feeling that surge, that pulsing motion telling you that this is right for you or that this is calling out to you, you should probably listen to that. That's your inner self guiding and speaking to you. I guarantee that when you click that button below, we're going to have an amazing experience together. I want to let you know that space in our coaching packages is extremely limited right now, and these go fast. So sign up now. You will be grateful that you did, because chances are we won't do another coaching session like this for another few months. So I can't wait to hear your story, and I can't wait for your story to be another great testimonial on the wall of women who I've worked with who have absolutely changed their lives, because it might not be here when you come back. Can't wait to meet up. This is going to be another great group. I know it.